Hey, what's going on, everybody? Who 186 back again with another live stream. Who we on deck, episode 10. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold, so if I cough, it's the reason why. But I mean, like I said, there's a lot to discuss. Excuse me. Um, yeah. So let me share this out real quick. Hopefully I can get this out quickly because I do have. There's one topic that I'm going to be mentioning names. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hold on, let me test this. Let me test the sound now real quick. Hopefully I can get this out quickly because I do have. There's one topic. Okay, I sound okay. Um, excuse me. All right, let me share this out real quick and then I can get started. And then let me share this on Twitter real quick. I do have someplace else to go, so I'm gonna try to make this. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but I want to. Right there is there's a lot of stuff that I would like to talk about, but I am permitted by time. But the first thing I'm gonna talk about is Tetris Effect, the new game that was announced. It's part of Sony's I guess series of games that they're going to announce before E3, and this game caused a weird amount of controversy, and I got into it on Twitter with a couple people, and I want to respond to them first before I talk about everything else, the big news. But I guess I can talk about while I'm sharing this out. I guess I can talk about the game itself. Now, Tetris is actually the first game that I've ever played. Obviously on the Nintendo. I played it at a friend's house. Okay, excuse me. Um, yeah, I played this at a friend's house a long time ago. I was like 3 or 4 or what have you, and yeah, that was the first. Um, that was the first game that I've ever played. It was the first video game I ever played. The first video game I ever saw. It doesn't have like Tetris to me is pretty much just a game that that I can play like anytime. You know what I mean? Like it's a game that I can play anytime. I'm not like when the game was announced, I wasn't like super hyped for it or anything like that. It just I just thought it was just an announcement, and obviously, um, I think the fact that the game's in VR is I think the main push of it, but I'll get deeper into that in a second. Let me just share this out real quick. Give me a second. Yeah. And let me tag the 2 people I'm going to be talking about. And FYI, I don't have an issue with any of these people. I'm fans of both. So I don't have a major issue with people. But those are the 2 guys who you know I was discussing this with. So I might as well I might as well tag them real quick. Okay, so we got that done. Let me do this on Google Play, Google Plus, real quick, and then I'll get started. So yeah, so the game was announced. Um, yeah, so the game was announced, and my overall stance on the game is pretty much this: as long as the game is not $60, and if it has an online mode in it, then I don't have a problem buying it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have an issue buying it. I mean I don't know when it's supposed to come out. I didn't catch the release date. But Um, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't catch the release date, but well, yeah, I didn't catch the release date, but it is supposed. I believe it's supposed to come out in the fall. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I like I said, I didn't catch the release date, but okay. All right. All right. I'm good to go. Okay. All right. So, like I said, Tetris Effect was announced. Now, the one caveat to this game is that I read up on the blog post, the PlayStation blog post about the game. This game is 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 being created by the same people who made the same creator who made Luminous. Now, for those of you who don't know what it is, Luminous is a puzzle game. It was a game. I believe the publisher of that game was Ubisoft. Yeah, I think it is Ubisoft. They have the two Luminous games that I played was the very first one on the PSP and the PS Vita one. I believe that was called Luminous Electronic Symphony. Both were like music based puzzle games. I would probably say, man, does it remind me? Like it's kind of like a different version of Tetris. It's not exactly like Tetris, but it's like a different. It's like a different version. So instead of the blocks going down and being solid, the blocks can. If you put, let's say, if you have a square, right? You knock it down, and you have one piece of block there. The other side. Let's say if you had two columns of two columns of four blocks altogether, right? Yeah, and you hit it. And the block can separate. That's pretty much what I'm trying to explain. The blocks can separate, and you match them in threes and stuff like that. But the thing is that they have this I forgot what they call it. It's like a time. It's like a time marker that goes across the screen. And once the time marker crosses the screen of the puzzle, that's when the blocks of three gets wiped away. So it depends on the music and how fast the timer goes, how fast the time marker goes. It's it's a very cool game. Hold on, so give me one second. Hold on, give me one second. All right, sorry, I had to get the frog out of my throat. Um, so yeah, so the way I looked at it and what I read, it's kind of like it's going to be a different version of Tetris, pretty much. I have all the same modes and stuff like that from past Tetris games, but it's not the same old Tetris game. It's not the fucking you know it's not a cell phone game that you can just find on the Google Store, Apple Store, what have you. It's not that. At least that's what they're saying. What they're saying. Like I said earlier, if it's not 60 and it has online multiplayer, I don't have a problem buying it because I like Tetris. But that's besides the point, right? So the game was announced. It was the first game announced for the PlayStation. Before pre E3 thing that they're doing, countdown that they're doing, and there's a weird level of hysteria surrounding this game, right? And the first person I'm going to address in this is Fame Entertainment. Now let me say this off the rip. I have nothing against Fame Entertainment at all. I have nothing against the dude. Our conversation. Hold on, give me a second. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I don't have any issues I don't have any issue with Fame. I'm a big fan of his. Our conversation I mean, I wouldn't say it didn't get heated on my end. But we got into a little bit of a debate. And one of the problems with Twitter, with debating on Twitter, is that it's hard to get all your full thoughts out there. And I think our message. Fuck out of here. Jesus fucking Christ. I guess our signals got crossed a little bit. So here's what thing is. A lot of people, and Porter Rock did this too, but I'll address him a little later. But what Fame said was that you guys are hyped for Tetris. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing here. You guys are hyped for Tetris. If Microsoft or Nintendo did this, y'all would be crucifying them. That's pretty much the gist of what he's saying. Now, obviously, this is. Oh, give me one moment. Okay, I'm back. Like I was saying, right? He pretty much said that if Sony and Microsoft or Nintendo announced Tetris, then you know they would get crucified. Now, I, to me I just don't buy it. I don't buy into that, and the reason why I don't buy into it is because one, when it comes to Nintendo, right? Everyone knows everyone knows that you know the Tetris and Nintendo are very synonymous with each other, right? The first Tetris game I believe was in 1987, and you know first Tetris game came out on the Nintendo. At least to my knowledge, it is. Let me check to make sure. Let me check to make sure. And to me, it is one of the most it's a game that's synonymous with Nintendo. Now I'm looking up here. The original Tetris is the sixth highest selling game of all time, and that's mainly because you know it was on Nintendo. It was one of the most popular games of all time. You know, Tetris has a rich history. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I saw Porter Rock was comparing it to Minesweeper and shit like that. That's not Tetris and Minesweeper are not on the same plane. Not at all. Not the same fucking plane at all. Now, is it a gaming juggernaut nowadays? No. And this wasn't like some big super big announcement or whatever. It wasn't like, oh my god, Tetris here, fuck Xbox, fuck Nintendo. Like it wasn't that type of announcement. Now obviously I guess what Fame was trying to tell me that you have a lot of dudes hyping this up. And yeah, look, it's a video game. People are gonna get hyped up for anything. My point of what, and I made a tweet which pretty much said, show me how many people would display the type of behavior he's talking about. As far as like I guess he said hype or whatever. Now to me, I like people gonna get hyped for anything. That pretty much wasn't what I meant. My thing was, and this is partially my fault. And I don't have a problem admitting this. What I was saying is display somebody who you think would display that type of behavior of you know probably of you know cheering for a game and then trying to trash it and trying to trash the game, you know, praising one game and trashing another game that are similar. And obviously we don't have you know we can't live in an alternate reality where let's say if Microsoft announced uh you know Tetris Effect, would people have the same response to that game if it was announced by Nintendo or Microsoft as they would when it comes to Sony? Now again, and I think that's partially my fault because I didn't explain my point correctly to him because he assumed that I just talked about hype. Oh, they like I said, no one's hyped about this. That's not what I said. That is definitely not what I meant to say. All I said is that this is just a regular announcement. It's not something that is like a mega. It's not a megaton announcement. Sure, people can get hyped for it. Like I'm hyped for tons of games that are not like megaton announcements. But that's not what I meant. What I was trying to say was that show me these people who you feel would display that type of behavior. To what he said was basically like, you guys are hyped for a game. If it was on Nintendo or Microsoft, y'all wouldn't be as hyped. And to me, like that, to me, I don't buy into that notion that, oh, just because a game is announced on another platform, that people will all of a sudden get hype or not get hype for it. Now again, you have people who would do that. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it's not a big deal to get to be, it's not a big deal to get all bent out of shape over it. Like it's not that big of a deal. That's why I was just confused by the reaction to it, because people are going crazy over it, and I'm like, what is there to get crazy over? It's just an announcement. That's it. That's pretty much it. So I mean, and also, like, let's say if Microsoft announced this, right? And unfortunately, I do feel like a lot of Xbox fanboys. Excuse me. I feel like a lot of Xbox fanboys are, they're. I feel like they're insecure about Microsoft's standing in the community. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I feel like a lot of them are insecure about Microsoft's standing in the in the community, and that's why when you see a lot of these dudes who sit there and say, "Oh, if this," I saw a bunch of Xbox dudes saying that, "Oh, if this was announced on this and that, it wouldn't get the same height level." And I saw Porter Rock say the same thing, and I pretty much told him, there's nothing. What is there to be upset about? What is there to make that comparison? Because if you look at Microsoft, like, considering the commercial failures uh, of Scalebound and not Scalebound, of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Oh, give me a second. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Given the failures of Sea of Thieves, the commercial failures of Sea of Thieves, and the no, not commercial, critical failures of State of Decay and Sea of Thieves, I figure a Tetris Effect announcement will be fine, because at the very least that game's gonna be good. You know what I mean? So yeah, me personally, I don't buy into that notion. I think a lot of that is just Xbox gamers just being sensitive over something that there's nothing to be sensitive over. And regarding Porter Rock, after I sent him that tweet, he came at me and some other guy saying, "Oh, if this was on Xbox or Nintendo, you two would be going ham on it." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, like, you don't know, bro. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. I own an Xbox One. Why would I be upset with Microsoft announcing games? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I be? Why would I be? Why would I criticize them for it? You know what I mean? I didn't criticize them when they released the Halo game at Dave and Buster's, and I didn't get mad at them because over them releasing some bullshit ass Miami Rush game on PC. I don't care. I don't care. All I care about is the game that they're making on the Xbox. That's all I care about. If they want to make a game on arcade or PC, whatever, that's their business. Me, like, why would I be upset as an Xbox One owner? Why would I be upset with them making a game? Now, if it's let's say, for example, if Tetris if Microsoft and Nintendo, for that matter, or Sony for that matter, are touting Tetris Ultimate, which was the last major Tetris game to release on console, right? If they're promoting that game, either it's for Game Pass or PlayStation Now, or hell, whatever the fuck Nintendo's doing, then I mean not. I mean, it's not that I would have a problem with it. I'm not gonna sit there and make a video about it. No, I'm just gonna do. I'm going to ignore it, pretty much. But that's not the case with this game. This is a brand new Tetris game. Now, if you think that Tetris isn't a big deal, I mean that's fine. Well, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing to get like. It's nothing to get hysterical over. So, like I said, you know, I'm gonna move on. But I don't have an issue with either man. You know, it's just Twitter conversation. That's all there is to it. So I'll move on for that. And I'm gonna talk about something that I actually made a video on this yesterday. But what happened was my stream died. So I don't know what the hell happened. But my stream died, and you know, it cut off 3 minutes in, and it was a topic regarding who killed Scalebound because the article came out. I forgot who did the art. I forgot who did the article, but Scalebound they did an interview with Platinum Games, and they were talking about Scalebound. And no, they were talking about pretty much them moving away from from publishing games for third party. They kind of want to create their own IPs and stuff like that. And and there was a piece of the article which talked about how uh, saved them because it sold very well. It was critically acclaimed and seemingly sold very well. So they talked about that, and the big thing came up. A big argument came up, and it was a big topic on Weapon Wheel this past week about which company killed Scalebound. Was it Microsoft or was it Platinum Games? Now, me personally, I think people when people say when the people who say that Microsoft are the one that killed it, I think a lot of the Xbox dudes get defensive over it, but there's nothing to get defensive over because at the end of the day, Microsoft are well within their right to to cancel a game if they feel like it's not going in the right direction. It's their game. Granted, um, Platinum making the game, but it is Microsoft property. So if they feel like if they feel like um, if they feel like it's not feasible to them financially to go along with the project, they're within their right to make the cancel the game. Right? So let me just say that off ramp. With that said, if you're going to sit there and tell me that Microsoft don't bear at least some responsibility for the game cancellation, you're kidding yourselves. You're kidding yourselves. Look at Platinum's resume. And listen, I don't give two flying fucks about Platinum games, like at all. I think they're a grossly overrated developer. But look at their game library, right? They've made Legends of Korra. They made Vanquish. They made the Turtles game, the Transformers game. Give me one moment. Wow. I'm killing myself out here. All right, so they made Legend of Korra, the Turtles game, the Transformers game, Bayonetta, all these different games. And one of the big talking points from a lot of the Xbox dudes is that Platinum games was spread out too thin. Right? They say, they have all these games they're making. They don't have they didn't have the adequate manpower to finish Scalebound, and that may be true, but the problem is that all those games I mentioned came out. Like I said, all those games, the Turtle game came out, the Transformers game came out, Nier Automata came out, Bayonetta 3 is more than likely going to come out with really no issues. And there's only one cancellation in their library, and that's Scalebound. I mean, if all these other games from all these other publishers and that they work with from Capcom to Konami to Sony to just to Sega. All these publishers that they're working with, all these companies they're working with, and the one game that doesn't come out is from a company from like Microsoft. Like, come on, man, put two and two together. You can't tell me that it's all Scalebound's fault. You can't tell me. And then another thing that I think a lot of people would like to know is whose idea was it? Because the game was supposed to have a co-op mode. I think it was supposed to be up to 4 people. And of all the games that Platinum Games have made, I don't believe that they have one that has an online component to it. And I know Kiss Move was saying, "Oh well, you tell me they can't make online, they can't make online." Well, I mean, they haven't done it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think a lot of people are pretty much saying whoever was the one that pushed the 4-player co-op are the ones that they're blaming, and I tend to agree with that. But it's also pretty clear who wanted the 4-player co-op. Look at the last 2 games that Microsoft released: State of Decay, up to 4 players co-op; Scalebound, not Scalebound, Sea of Thieves, up to 4 players co-op. And I mean, and then you look at games like Halo, which is multiplayer focused; Gears, which is multiplayer focused; Forza, which has an online component. And also, you have like even games like Sunset Overdrive has an online multiplayer component to it, co-op component to it. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear which company wanted the 4-player co-op, and I think it's also clear that if Platinum didn't have to have the 4-player co-op and had more time, that the game would have been out by now, or probably would have been released next year. But like I said, it is Microsoft property, and they have the right to kill a game if they feel like it's not going to be a success for them. Which brings me to Crackdown, and that's the part that I think frustrates a lot of people. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's a rumor going around that the game might have been delayed again, and obviously Microsoft hasn't said anything as of today. They haven't said anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Microsoft really hasn't said anything about it. So pretty much right now, the whole Crackdown being delayed to 2019 is all hearsay right now. Now, the guy who broke the news, Nathan Shearer, I believe he worked for Kotaku. He's broken news like this before, so I don't want to say, I tend to think that he's credible enough, and there's other publications that have come out and said the same thing. But like I said, I'll wait for Microsoft to make I'll wait to Microsoft to make the announcement. But it'll say if it is true, as disappointing as it is for me, because Crackdown 3 was the reason why I bought an Xbox One. Was the main reason why I bought an Xbox One. Because I like games like that, and I thought that the original demo they showed would look awesome. But as time goes on, when you look at the library of games I have for it, I'm fine either way. So if the games don't come out, let's say the game gets canceled or what have you, I'm not gonna sell my Xbox One. I mean, I have games on it, so I'm good. But Crackdown 3 was the main game that I wanted to get for it. But if it gets delayed, as unfortunate as that is, ultimately, if the game comes out for the better, then it's not really a big deal. It's not really a big deal. But I think the thing that I think is frustrating to some people, and myself included, is that you look at a game like Scalebound, that I guess according to the report, they needed 2 more years to finish the game, and I guess Microsoft wasn't interested in that. And again, it's their project. That's their prerogative. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. When you look at Scalebound, and the fact that the game after what a couple years of being developed gets hacked like that, and then you look at what potentially going on with Crackdown 3, and you see how they're trying to keep that game alive, and that's really trying to keep that game alive, and I commend them for that too. Like at the end of the day, canceling games is not a good thing. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. It's not a good thing. But you kind of have to ask yourself, why is one game being used? Why did one game get axed while the other game, is they're trying to keep it alive? And me personally, people can't say. I know K Mega has been throwing this around that they spent like $75 million on developing the game. Okay, and that's probably true. But don't sit there and tell me that getting Terry Crews to be part of that Crackdown game was cheap. That don't tell me that, because getting that dude to do that game, that I guarantee you that's not cheap. You can't tell me that they're putting a ton of money into marketing into that game. If you're going to get Terry Crews to be the front man for the game, obviously you're going to put a lot of money into that marketing. Obviously, so I mean, I guess and you look at Scalebound and Crackdown. I mean, it's the same. They're based on the same parameters, man. Like it's pretty much. I don't want to say the game type are the same, because they're different games, right? But I figured that both games are similar enough to where you can at least similar. What I mean similar, I mean similar in development style, similar in parameters as far as how the game is being made. I figured that if you're willing to give Crackdown the opportunity to right the ship, I feel like Platinum should have gotten that chance with Scalebound, and they didn't. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, E3 is a couple of days away. I'm gonna head out. Like, oh man, I feel like crap. So, I still have other stuff to do. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I don't know if there's any major news that broke while I'm doing this. So, uh, yeah. So I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. Like I said about Crackdown. Microsoft haven't said anything yet. So like I said, I don't want to make this out to be. I don't want to make this out to be like it's doom and gloom. With like I've seen a lot of people talk about with Xbox, but I mean it sucks, but it is what it is, man. Like hopefully it is better. I just hope that I just hope the game comes out for the better, man. But anyways, this is Who 186. I'm out. Peace.